Your announcement. Lovely. Give us about a minute. I'll point to you before we
point,
start.
and then
Thank
we're
you.
good.
Hi, I'm Pat. It was supposed to be on the beam at 2.
Very nice.
Okay. Okay. Speak from.
That handheld mic.
Oh, okay.
This one. Is this on this? Do you want to use this? Yeah? Okay.
I guess I'm just going to take a
Yes, I am. A louder voice, I think.
Okay.
Got it. There are 2 versions. One seems to be
Yeah, the short one.
okay.
Definitely the short
It's
one.
also on the slide behind you.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I think we're ready.
Yeah, okay. Good. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you. My name is Gabriel Smolars, and on behalf of the Board of Directors of the congregation, I welcome you to our congregation, BethChaim. Thank you for being here. It's great to see you. Please take a look at the screen behind me for ways to enhance your prayer experience and to keep everybody safe. Thank you for joining us. If you can, turn off your electronic devices or at least put them on vibrate mode. No pictures. We have a photographer, part of the congregation, that does that. We also live stream the service. If you don't want to be on live stream, let one of us know and we can figure out how to make that happen for you. Otherwise, Shabbat Shalom. Good to see you. Let's begin.
Thank you. We'll begin on page 24. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharei, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ochem l'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem l'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. How wonderful it is to see all of you on this Shabbat, where we have a taste of the world as we would want it to be should one day we work towards and achieve the goal of a perfect world around you. And on a Shabbat where we also celebrate from this past week of the observance of Yom HaZikaron and the celebration of Yom HaAtzmaut, the day we celebrate the gift of Israel through Israel Independence Day. We're told and reminded that we should always have Israel metaphorically symbolized by Jerusalem on our mind and our heart and on our tongue. And many of us literally have Jerusalem on our tongue this evening, having partaken of a beautiful, beautiful Shabbat dinner, and we thank all of those who made it happen. We have a new tradition at Beth Chaim where we invite one of our congregants to begin our worship with a testimonial of one kind or another. And we're blessed on this particular Shabbat and observance of Yom HaAtzmaut to invite Pat Clearfield to share a few words.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to our Shabbat service to celebrate Israel's 71st birthday. This is one of the programs developed this year by our congregation's Israel Committee. Last month, your children participated in an immersive program during their Sunday morning studies that gave them a glimpse into Israel's participation, developments, and achievements in 9 different areas, including technology, ecology, music, archaeology, and science. The committee also presented a discussion of the results and implications of last month's Israeli elections, moderated by Hagit Sten. We have future programs planned. Please watch for more information on these. Tonight we celebrate Israel's founding. There will be a chance for you to participate this evening. At the Oneg, please check out the different stations we've set up around the room where you can express your own thoughts and ideas about Israel by leaving us Post-it notes describing your experiences, concerns, and dreams for the land. Our small but growing Israel task force here at Beth Chaim will use your ideas to inform future programming. I'm not Jewish by birth. I became a Jew by choice in 2000. And here's a fun fact. Rabbi Beal sat on the Beit Din that interviewed me about my intention to become Jewish. I was questioned about my knowledge of Judaism and Jewish history. I was able to say then, as I say now, that I had a classic Reformed Jewish education typical of the 1990s. You see, I had agreed with Steve to raise our children Jewish. So when David and Sarah came along, I made sure we participated in all our synagogue's children's programming, taught Shabbat, weekly classes. Sarah even played basketball in New Jersey's Maccabean games. I attended special holiday services for children where the stories of our people were explained in simple but meaningful terms. David went on through confirmation. I even attended parallel Hebrew classes where I learned my first Hebrew song. Aleph, Bet, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey. So the basis of my understanding of Judaism was taken by the comprehensive education I shared with my kids and the culture and ethics imparted by Steve's family. The thing that has always surprised me about my journey of faith was how familiar Judaism felt to me, right from the beginning, and increasingly so the more I studied and reflected. Again, it's not my DNA, but I truly feel it's my heritage. I think what drew me to Judaism was the importance of justice and fairness that the Torah teaches us and has taught all humankind. This is not something about which I was altogether comfortable with the faith I was in. I visited Israel in 2006. This is a picture of me at the Kotel. I felt I belonged in Israel just as strongly as I felt that I should be Jewish. Just as Judaism was familiar to me, Israel felt familiar to me also. My visit was a fairly traditional one, primarily seeing all the sites that were part of our stories and engaging with some of the people who were making the nation flourish. It was a fabulous 10-day visit, and I'll never forget it. Today, of course, all the world seems to be struggling to achieve balance and at a minimum to deal respectfully and fairly with one another, and Israel demands the same consideration for herself. But I take comfort in my belief that justice is a real part of Israel's DNA, and that she will not settle for less than peace and equity, not just for Israel and not just for Jews, but for all nations. I have another fun fact to share with you. When I became bat mitzvah on this bima a few years ago, my sister bought me an Ancestry DNA gift certificate. I took the test, and I'm pleased to be able to tell you I am an MOT. My results showed I'm 0.8% Ashkenazi. However, it does happen that occasionally I'm asked to establish my Hebraic bona fides. So when I need to get some Jewish street cred, I tell people that I worked on a kibbutz in Israel. And here are the pictures to prove it. That's me at Masada. That's me with the Pinello I picked on Kibbutz Yael in Israel when I worked on the kibbutz in Israel. That's the scene outside of the kibbutz in Israel. And this is the sweatshirt I got when I worked on the kibbutz in Israel that you see me wearing on Masada, and I keep it to remind me of my connections to Israel. Thank you and Shabbat Shalom.
I cast the deciding vote. How you do that when things are unanimous, I don't know. Our service begins on pages 2 and 3 as we invite the Feldman family to join us on the Bima in the honor of lighting Shabbat candles.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hakafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'vratzon hinchilanu, zikaron le'maseh bereshit. כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחתנו. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat.
Friends, we continue our worship as we officially greet Shabbat with the words of Lecha Dodi, pages 20 and 21.
לך דודי לקראת קנה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קנה, בני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבורך, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, שם ותפארת ונתילה. לך דודי לקראת קנה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קנה, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי בקור הברכה בראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת קנה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קנה, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, אורי אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת קנה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קנה, בני שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה, קם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת קנה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קנה, בני שבת נקבלה.
We remain standing and turn to page 26 as we join in Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
Amen.
ועלמא יברח חילותי וימליך מלכותי, וחייכונו ביום אחד ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם עולם מעל מיה, יתברך יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי לקדושה בריחו. ונאמין כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמא, ואמרו אמן. לילה Adonai המבורך לעולם ועד. Ya la 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 la.
Page 30.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro mariv aravim mariv aravim. You called the world into being, spread all the stars in the heavens above. You made the morning and evening, surrounding us daily with signs of your love. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro mariv aravim mariv aravim.
We invite Bettina Heller to the Bima. This next reading is not found in the Siddur.
Good evening. Ruth Brim was famous for her Jewish poetry, prayer services, scholarly articles, children's books, and librettos. Her liturgy was found in the pages of Reconstruction, Reform, and Conservative prayer services. Who are these Jews? By Ruth Brim. There were women who sat in the market selling beets and cabbages so their men could study. They were Jews. There were men of Yemen, great swordsmen, guards of the king. They were Jews. There are dark women of India wearing saris, black farmers from Ethiopia, children with slanted eyes, all Jews. There are dressmakers and sculptors, thieves and philanthropists, scholars and nurses, beggars and generals. There are women who follow every rule of kashrut, and men who know none of the rules. Yet all of us are Jews. Though we are not alike in mind or body, somewhere in the depths of our souls, we know we are the children of one people. We share a history, a hope, and some prayers. We speak many languages. We have heard one voice. All of us stood together at Sinai when our past and our future exploded in thunder and flame before us. Thank you.
Page 34, we rise together.
Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed Ve'avta et Adonai Elohecha בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 38 together. All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior, who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You perform miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש. נורא תהילות אוסף אליהם, נורא תהילות אוסף אליהם. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה. זה אלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. השיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. Spread the shelter of your peace over us, guide us in wisdom, compassion and trust. Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, Amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, Hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
Page 44.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים, את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We continue on page 46. We rise together.
Na 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 spatai tika na 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 ufiagi tehilatecha ufiagi tehilatecha na 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 ufiagi tehilatecha ufiagi tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VaHanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך חוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה, אתה גיבור עולם אדוני וחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מוריד אתה מחלקי חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ברופא חולים, ומתיר עצורים, ומקיים אמונתו אישי עפר. מי כמוך בר גבורות, ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות החוק. ברוך אתה אדוני בחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. Continue on the bottom of page 55. The meaning of Shabbat is to celebrate time rather than space. 6 days a week we live under the tyranny of things in space. On Shabbat, we try to become attuned to the holiness of time. It is a day on which we are called upon to share in what is eternal in time, to turn from the results of creation to the mystery of creation, from the world of creation to the creation of the world. Page 57 together. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land and Zion restored in all lands. You are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, shotecha levarecha, b'yirah na'avod.
It's important always to express our gratitude, and in every service there is a time during the Amidah when we take a moment to give thanks. And so if there is anything for which we are thankful, please share with us a word or a sentence just to let us know what we're grateful for. Yes?
I'm very grateful that every single always throw a back to the jersey. Hooray, hooray.
Hooray, hooray. Yes? Family. Yes?
Very thankful our daughter's going to graduate next weekend. We won't be here for Shabbat then, so I'll be more
For friends and family and graduates. Modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach. Any others? Yes. Anyone else? All right. Modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach.
Our prayer for peace, Birkat Shalom, is found on page 60.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Sim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Sim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Sim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Sim Leolam. V'tov benecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Sim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Sim Leolam. Baruch atah Adonai המברך את עמו ישראל. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Sim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Sim Leolam. Sim Leolam. Sim Leolam.
We continue with silent prayer.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן.
In Jerusalem, it was an incredibly gorgeous, sunny day, cool day, so I figured I'd head to the hotel. There were a number of ways to get there from my place, all scenic and in some less hilly than others, so today I took at least the hilly one. That takes me through the green space that is a short cut through the Tabala neighborhood. Since we have a fair bit of rain and a ton of sunny days and a little pink and purple cyclone are already peeking out through the bright green grass. It's at 9 a.m. and there's barely any traffic, so I cut across the streets against the lights and I'm singing to myself Yaakov Sharu version of Vehi Shemeda. As I turn to King David Street in front of King David Hotel, a youngish guy is holding a tally bag in front of me and picks up the tune. After a few steps, he turns, still singing, and gives a thumbs up singing sign as he runs on the steps from the Hebrew Union College building heading to the Reform Minyan. So now I have even a bigger smile on my face as I head down the street toward Mamela. When I'm walking through the mall, I couldn't believe my eyes. Not a single soul anywhere in the whole length of the thing. Really incredible feelings I have through the whole mall, having the whole mall to myself, looking at the sculptures, checking out the storefronts, and singing the whole way. Only when I walked halfway through the Yaffa gate did I see a few guys wearing a tali coming from the other direction from the hotel. It felt great to get inside Yaffa's gate and to be in the old city again. I was there a few weeks ago, but the Shabbat atmosphere was so very different. Two Haredi men, completely dressed in white, including their beards, passed by me, chattering away in Yiddish. Every time I go to the old city, I discover something new, some new alleyway or a new route somewhere. So today, instead of just walking through the main square and down the steps of the hotel, I cut off to the north into the more residential part of the quarter. Wonderful to see the kids and the young families and the little playgrounds that dot the quarter. I ended up with the Israeli Tower and to take the Shoni Halachat Street, which leads straight down the observation point on the way to the hotel. It is a steep street and it's beautiful Crusaders Arch and lots of homes and wealthy Jewish families. Most of the houses have rooftops from the view of Habar Habayit and one of the loveliest streets of the old city. The observation point overlooking the hotel and beyond the unusual filled with tourists, it felt so empty. So I just stand there mesmerized by it all. It is the best place to see the relatively recent excavations directly below at the back of the Hotel Plaza. The Mount of Olives is in the background with the hills of the Moab just visible from behind Sawan to the south, and of course the people. From there I take a short way down via Chayin Street into the Hotel Plaza. About 5 competing minyanim are going on the men's side of on the men's side. But on the women's side, it's relatively empty, with the room to slide into a spot in the hotel by itself. It takes a few minutes to pull myself together and just reflect on how incredibly fortunate I am to be here. I always think of my grandparents, whom I never knew when I'm there. My parents came many times to Israel, but my grandparents, who perished in the camps and never stepped foot outside Europe, they too had Israel in their hearts. I know it, yet I'm the one who's there. It is difficult to have a real kavah here. Sitting outside in the sunshine, feeling the protectiveness of the Shechayim, that's always hovering there, davening at whatever place I feel goes with what's going on inside my neshama. Taking breaks and closing my eyes and breathing it all in, truly an awesome Shabbos experience.
I'm going to ask Geraldine Fogelman to please rise. And Les, if you would come behind her for me, please. I'm going to let Geraldine hold you up. Come on over front and face everyone. It's inappropriate for me to ever say someone's age, especially a woman. But I hope you won't mind me pointing out that this is Israel's 71st birthday, and you were 26 when Israel was born. This very week. And how blessed we are, I'm not 100% sure, but that we have an opportunity to offer a blessing to our most senior congregant.
You sure?
Our wittiest congregant, and the one who keeps me in line, to have your age, at your age, at any age, to have your energy and your spirit and your wit and that beautiful smile. Such a blessing.
Oh, Rabbi.
And I have to tell you, thank God I got witnesses here. How blessed we are that you're here, that we could offer you our love and our blessing and our admiration, our gratitude. For you're a regular. You come with less, and thanks to your chauffeur and your friend, you are an important, regular part of this congregation. And so on this special Shabbat, I'm going to invite Les to wrap you in a talit.
Oh. Don't I look impressive?
I warned you, didn't I? The words for happy birthday in Hebrew are Yom Huledet Sameach. May it be a beautiful, happy birthday. So we begin by together sharing the words. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach. We rise together. Eternal God, we offer our blessing to Geraldine Fogelman on the occasion of her 21st plus birthday.
Plus.
We ask that you will continue to smile upon her, to give her strength, to let her provide that beauty of her soul to inspire all of us around her. The words of the blessing that translate, "Blessed are you, eternal God, ruler of the world, who gives life, who sustains life, and who brings us to the most important moments of our lives." In celebration, we share this blessing with you.
I certainly appreciate it.
Friends, we invite Hannah Feldman to please join us on the bima. Please remain standing. We continue on page 248 with Seder Kriyat Torah, the service of the reading of the Torah.
Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Lamo Yisrael, B'kedushato, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadol Adonai iti, Uneromema Shemo Yachda, Lecha Adonai HaGadol, VeHaGevora, VeHaTiferet, VeHaNetzach, VeHaHod, Ki Chol Bashamayim Uvaretz, Ki Chol Bashamayim Uvaretz, Lecha Adonai הממלכה והמתנשא לכל ראש.
Please be seated. We are blessed that we have students from time to time who are willing to come back after B'nai Mitzvah to again recommit themselves to their Torah portion that they chanted at their Bar Bat Mitzvah. And Hannah has again prepared from the book of Leviticus chapter 23, verses 1 through 8, a section about the gift and mitzvot of Shabbat and Pesach. A special portion, I understand, not only for you, but for the women of your family.
Also my grandfather on my dad's side.
Also your grandfather on your dad's side. See, that part wasn't given to me in advance. Her grandfather, her paternal grandfather, her mother, and she currently share the same portion, and in about a year,
Pretty much exactly a year. It's May
a year
9th.
from yesterday, her sister also will share from the same portion. So with that kavod, that respect, that honor, and that love, we welcome you back to the Bima. The blessing for Torah reading is found on page 250.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vadaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, Daber el bnei Yisrael v'amarta alehem moadei Adonai asher tikra'u otam mikrai kodesh elechem moadai sheshet yamim teyasem alecha uvayom hashi Shabbat, Shabbaton, Mikrai Kodesh, Kol Melecha, Lo Ta'asu, Shabbat Hi L'Adonai, Bechol Moshvotechem, Ele Moadei Adonai, Mikraei Kodesh, Asher Tikra'u Otam B'Moadam, B'Chodesh HaRishon, Barba'a Asar, LaChodesh Bein Charbaim, Pesach l'Adonai, uv'chamisha asar yom l'chodesh hazeh, chag hamatzot l'Adonai, shivat yamim matzot tochelu, ביום הראשון מקראי קודש יהיה לכם, כל מלאכת עבודה לא תעשו. והקרבתם משל אדוני 7 ימים, ביום השביעי מקראי קודש, כל מלאכת עבודה לא תעשו. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. Friends, as the Torah remains unfurled before us, let us pause to offer a Misha Beirach for all who are in need of healing. As we open our hearts and our minds and our souls, we ask that God will bring an extra measure of love and blessing to all who are in need of wholeness of body, of mind, and of spirit. If there's anyone in your heart, in your mind, for whom you hold an extra prayer on this Shabbat, we invite you to say their name aloud as we make our way through the sanctuary. To those names we add Megan Mary DePera, Rhoda Schwartz, Arlene Grable, Donald Molaski, Teddy Molaski, Nathan Hecker, Jeff Stoller, Phil Jarvis, Marilyn Fessel, Jan Gale, Claire Meyer, Linda Grunbaum, Howard and Dolores Rosenblatt, Allison Stadius, Pamela White, William Jackasola, Stephanie Herman, Lauren Sadek, Donald Hoffman, Chloe Salas Acevedo. May they all come to know a refuah shlema, complete and a speedy recovery, as we share together El Narafan Allah.
Il n'arriva nala, il n'arriva nala, il n'arriva nala, il n'arriva nala. And Moses cried, Heal Miriam, this I pray. And Moses cried, Heal Miriam, this I pray. El Narifah nala, El Narifah nala, El Narifah nala, El Narifah nala. And Moses cried, Heal Miriam, this I pray. And Moses cried, Heal Miriam, this I pray. El Narifah nala, El Narifah nala, El Narifah nala, El Narifah nala.
We rise together.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה.
Friends, we remain standing and turn to page 259.
O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fulfillment of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Amen. Friends, we continue on page 256.
יהללו את שם אדוני, כי נשגב שמו לבדו, הודו על ארץ ושמיים, וירם קרן לעמו, תהילה לכל חסידיו, לבני ישראל, עם קרובו. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Eitz Chaim hi, lama chazikim bach, v'tomecheha meushar, teracheha darchei noam, v'chol tivoteha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem.
Please be seated. Shabbat Shalom again. So many of you know that to train to become a rabbi in the Reform movement, we spend a year in Jerusalem. First year in Jerusalem. It's where we both gain our Hebraic knowledge, skill, we hope, and also get a chance to really live our people's history and to live the gift of Israel. And there is experience after experience, and each one more profound than the next. The experiences I now share with you, I have to tell you, were among the most indelible upon my heart. Normally, we were told before a trip or a program or tiyul a little bit about what we would experience, but all we were told is that we were going to go to a local high school for Yom HaZikaron. Yom HaZikaron is Israel's Memorial Day. And so when you've never been in Israel, and even though you've been in synagogue and know, you really still have, or at least many of us did, the image of American Memorial Day. Yes, we maybe go to something in the morning to honor our loved ones, and then it's a picnic and frisbee and whatever else it is for the rest of the day, for most, not all. So we made our way to a local high school, the first time that any of us had been in an Israeli high school. And they bring us to the back, which was the equivalent of, I guess, what we would call a playground, but a high school playground. There were 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders who were blaring music. Back then, they didn't have iPhones, so you actually had to have the music for everybody to hear and not just your own isolation in your ear. And they're hitting soccer balls and they're schmoozing and there's energy, and that's what we came into. What you'd expect in the back of most high schools in America during recess. Until the moment happened. the blare and shrill of an air siren going off as if it was feet from our ears. And in an instant, every one of those kids stood, silent. Nobody moved for 2 full minutes. And you could see the looks begin to pass and transform across their faces. And when the 2 minutes ended, almost in unison, they sat, and someone, probably a principal or a teacher, came to the microphone and started reading name after name after name. We learned, as people whispered to us, that these were the names of alumni of that high school who had been killed in war at one time or another in the life of the history of the state of Israel. You know, many high schools in our country have these little plaques with the names of those who may have given their life to our name after name for a full 45 minutes. And not one of them moved or spoke the entire time. As we're watching and being part of this experience, it occurred to us not only the solemn ritual that they were participating in. We understand the Yizkor or Kaddish or funerals. We know that people can behave, even teenagers, but what was different is the 18-year-olds, the seniors, they weren't debating which college acceptance to pursue like our kids are at this time of year, the seniors. The juniors weren't in the beginning of their college search, because when you finish 12th grade in Israel, you go to the IDF, to the Israeli Defense, and you serve everyone. Doesn't make a difference. Men, women, boys, girls, whatever you would call an 18-year-old about to go into military service. Everyone there's lives had been touched by the pain of loss, and each of them knew, whether it was in months or a year or 2 or 3, that they would put their life on the line in service to their country. And throughout the rest of the day, no matter where we went, there was a return to normality. People in the supermarket, people went back to work, classes continued. But you can see throughout the country the weight of what that day meant and how personal it was. And then, as if you're watching a TV show where they speed up time and you see the sun start to go down, and you know something different is coming next. As the sun goes down on that day, all of a sudden roadblocks go up on different streets throughout Jerusalem. That's where we were. And podiums start to get erected, not for speakers, but for bands. Rock bands and heavier rock bands and really, really heavy rock bands. And stands of food begin to set up, and all of a sudden you start to see these cans of silly string, of all things, start to come out from people's bags, and then these, do you know these toy, I don't know what else to call them, boppers. They're hammers that when you hit, they make a squeaky sound that'll drive you crazy. And all of a sudden, you go from this setting of deep, heavy hearts to the absolute biggest party that you can imagine. And people let loose in a way that's joyous, and it doesn't make a difference if you're 97 or 9.7. That is the joy of the celebration of Yom Ha'atzmaut, the day of independence for Israel that everybody celebrates. And there is something about going from a truly heavy heart to a moment of celebration that adds a perspective of celebration that's just different. Because once you contemplate the sacrifice that your loved ones literally have made, and contemplate, if you're younger, the sacrifice that you too, God forbid, could make. That once you have a chance to celebrate the gift of the country for which you are dedicating your life and committing your life, and have a chance to celebrate its very existence, that celebration is something that you can't imagine unless you have been there and experienced it. And the reason these two experiences back to back had such a profound effect on me, and I know so many others, is because it is a microcosm of what Israel is all about. On one hand, just weeks ago, my 16-year-old now son is studying for 2 months in Israel, and that's when the missiles started to be launched, and my American 15-year-old son finds himself in a bomb shelter. And when I tell him, don't worry, trying to appease him not as a rabbi, but as a father, don't worry, the missile that landed in the middle of nowhere, you're fine. He said, you know what, Dad? Our trip yesterday was to that middle of nowhere. It was on the beach. That missile landed where we were playing yesterday. And yet that same kid who was scared out of his mind, if I let him, would be on the next plane to Jerusalem, because the joy and the love that he experienced being with our people in our land is transformative. Israel is filled with, on one hand, standing and sitting on the edge of their seat, not knowing their peril, and on the other hand, truly appreciating what it means to be a Jew and to be free, to celebrate and to observe who we are, from the most secular to the most observant and everyone in between. Israelis are Israelis. They're Jews. They're our brothers and our sisters. And so as we come together to celebrate and observe and to celebrate Yom HaZikaron and Yom Ha'atzmaut, I invite those of you who have been to Israel to reflect on those tastes, not only from this evening, but from the ones you shared in Israel, and the memories, and to be re-inspired and recommitted and hopefully sign up to go again. And for those of you who have not yet been there, give yourself a gift, a transformative gift. Because not only is it a great vacation, it's a great way to discover your inner Jewish self in ways you cannot imagine, no matter how active and observant and learned you may be. Happy Yom HaAtzmaut to us, to our people, to all people. Shabbat Shalom. The next reading is not found in your Siddur.
Yehuda Amichai was an Israeli poet, probably one of the greatest. He was born in Germany, then he emigrated with his family to then Palestine in 1936. He fought in the Israeli War of Independence in 1948, and later he became an advocate of peace and reconciliation in the region, working with Arab Palestinian writers. This is one of his poems. From the place where we are right, flowers will never grow in the spring. The place where we are right is hard and trampled like a yard. But the doubts and loves dig up the world like a mole, a plow, and a whisper will be heard in the place where the ruined house once stood.
Friends, we continue on page 282. We rise together.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. Again, this next reading is not found in your Siddur.
This new meditation for Yom HaZikaron imagines a prayer that might be said by the soldiers and terror victims who have lost their lives for the state of Israel. It's meant to honor that raw spot of grief that exists in all of us. The core metaphor is the ambiguous image of, throughout Israel, the flower that survives by growing up through the cracks in the stones, sometimes hewn stones placed by our ancestors, sometimes the very stones of the earth. And the poem is called Remember My Heart. When you see a flower bloom between the cracks in stone, remember me. Remember my heart and my hands, the hands of sons and daughters, of dreamers and doers, soldiers by necessity, civilians targeted for terror, old hands, young hands, children's hands, hands that yearn for life. When you see a flower bloom between the cracks in stone, remember that we have shed more tears than blood in our yearning for this land and this people. Remember what cannot be stolen, our love, our hope, our history, our home. Oh, to still be with you in this sacred land, in this beauty and wonder, in this place of my soul. When you see a flower bloom between the cracks in stone, remember me. Remember that beauty survives, that our love is strong, that our sacrifices are holy, that our cause is just, that our people will endure. Blessed are you, my people, who remember those of us who have given our lives to build, defend, and live in this land. May the Holy One shelter your heart in the wings of comfort and bring peace at last, peace at last.
As we prepare to share Kaddish Tome, the Kaddish of remembrance, our minds and our hearts turn to all whose lives have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those who are neighbors of loss, those who have lost their lives in service to the state of Israel, in service to our country, to our family and our friends whose memories continue to inspire goodness and righteousness within us. As we read aloud the name of a loved one, we invite you to please stand with their mentioning as we honor those who touched our lives with their lives. We continue in the period of Shiv'ah, the first 7 days since death, as we honor the memory of Barry Altman, the husband of Lois Weber Altman, and Genia Burke, the mother of Toby Arias. We continue in the period of 30 days since death, as we remember with love Erwin Markman, the grandfather of Jeremy Kaber, T. Rabbit Orbach, the son of Frank Orbach, and Annette Onima Orbach, and Carol Barish Shelley, the friend of Ellen Chasen. On this Shabbat, we honor the memories of those whose yahrzeit we remember and we honor. As we recall Yetta Rutman, William Zuckerman, Mark Sobel, Joan Wilson, Ronya Ben, Ray Hellerman, Harold Block, Rose Scher, Arthur Brodsky, Sue Zarkin, Robert Clarefield, Ethel Cohen, Helen Rudick, Carl Burned, Harry Druckman, Herman Lessiger, Melvin Hammond, Sylvia Renee D. Picciato, Eva Heller, Bernard Horn, Morris Kaminsky, Rose Weber, Herman First, Sylvia Fierst, Zandra Phillipson, Ruth Gussler, Joseph Kolb, Anna Lehrer, Benjamin Crittman, Abraham Gross, Sonia Newbark, Leon Larish, Charles Orenstein, Isaac Bender, Jack Schiffer, Alan Kornfeld, Arthur Joel Taxler, Molly Isaacson, May Dickov, Charlotte Cass, Ann Diner, Irving Joseph Berman, Leo Grossbard, David Prusak, Marianne Morgenstern, Philip Pinter, Martin Steinman. If there's anyone else observing Shiva Shloshim or Yahrzeit, we invite you to stand and say the name of your loved one. In loving memory of all whose names have been said aloud, those who no longer have anyone to recall their memory, we invite the congregation to stand together with our mourners as an act of love and support. Mourners Kaddish, page 294. Yitkadal v'yikadash shemir rabba, v'yalma divrach yutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agalav v'zman kari v'imru, Yehei shemir rabba mevarach v'olam olomei almaya, Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemed v'yishah parifu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, ta'miran ba'alma v'imru, Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru, Oseh shalom b'mamav, hu yaseh shalom, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, to this entire world. As together we say. Amen. Please be seated. Gabe?
Sure. So on behalf of the board, just want to share our appreciation for all the ushers and ONAG hosts for this evening. Thank you so much. Also, a couple of quick upcoming activities. May 23rd, Thursday, a little lunch and exploration of the poetry and meaning of the text, the Song of Songs. Also, on Sunday, June 9th, you can join us to celebrate our confirmands for our Shavuot confirmation service. Also, any questions about the rabbinic transition can be found on the FAQs at the table, outside, also on the web that we have as well. Thanks so much.
Tonight we said prayers of peace for Israel. We heard readings about Israel by Israelis. Rabbi Beeld shared his stories of Israel. And I want to invite many of you to join Rabbi Blum and I on our Women's Spirituality Israel trip coming up in November. Each day, we will spiritually drink from Miriam's well and nourish body, mind, and soul as we explore Israel through the lens of not only our liberal Judaism, but our experience as being women, our feminist sensibilities. The trip is open to anyone. We have a child who become bat mitzvah the morning we're leaving, joining us with her mother, and we have some of our more senior members. So I'm here during the ONIG if anyone has questions, but it's really going to be a wonderful experience. As Rabbi Blum and I realized, we have both spent both extended and multiple times in Israel, and we're doing things we've never done. So I encourage you to do that. I also encourage you, as Pat shared so eloquently in her remarks this evening, We have 3 boards in the Oneg room: My Israel Story, My Israel Question, and My Israel Hopes. There's Post-it notes and pens on all the Oneg tables, and if you have hopes, stories, questions, dreams you want to share, write them down and stick them on the right board. And our Israel Task Force will be using those as we begin to craft more programming for next year. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Heartfelt thanks to Pat Clarefield and Michael Rosenberg for chairing this evening's Shabbat celebration in honor of Yom Ha'atzmaut, to Hagit and to the rest of the Israel Committee for all you've done, not only for this evening, but for the programming in the school and throughout the year, and the programming to come in the months ahead. If you're interested in participating in helping to bring Israel to the forefront of our congregation, please reach out to those who are involved, to Cantor, myself, and to Ann, and it would be an honor to get you involved. Special thank you to my colleagues, to Ann, who staffs the Israel Committee and did unbelievable work in preparation for this evening, and of course to Cantor, to Orly, and to all. Thank you, thank you. Our closing song is also the national anthem of the State of Israel. As we rise together, page 374. We invite all of our not yet B'nai Mitzvah students to come stand with Geraldine for the honor of Motzi. And we're going to let you all hold that together, please. I'm letting go, so don't let go.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
The 3 of you are allowed to have oneg after everyone gets a piece. We invite you to please put your arms around a loved one, reach out a hand to a friend, reach out a hand and make a new friend. Eternal God, we stand before you in thanksgiving for all of our gifts in life, for the love of family, the support of friends, the strength and inspiration that comes from being part of sacred community, for the blessing of your creation, for the beauty that surrounds us each and every day. We offer you our thanks and our praise. Eternal God, we invoke your name as we ask that your blessing will be upon us, our family, our friends, throughout our community and the world, during Shabbat and the days to come.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless us and protect us.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's countenance be upon us and be gracious to us.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha V'yasem lecha shalom.
May God's loving gaze remain fixed upon us. May God bless us and all peoples of this world with peace.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.